The lunch rush. What do we got?
What do we got, Jackie boy?
All right, we talked about that list of the top off-ball linebackers with Tremaine Edmunds at 7, TJ Edwards honorable mentions, Roquan Smith at number 2. At this point, would you rather have Roquan Smith on the Bears, or would you rather have the two linebackers, Edmunds and Edwards? Because it was kind of like a trade-off.
I'm going to be honest. Yeah, I'll be honest. I think that the two players for the one player ended up making out decently, but Edmunds has to pick up his game. TJ Edwards was the pleasant surprise. And to me, TJ Edwards was the replacement for Roquan Smith. Okay. Edmunds, on the other hand, started slow, had a couple interceptions, I think, but never really kind of stepped it up to the point where I think what they paid him for. So he's got a lot to prove. And let me tell you, he's a guy that could be a cap casualty after next year if he doesn't pick up his game. So bring me more of Edmunds. But I'd like to move the way it was last year. I just think it could be much better for the Chicago Bears if Edmunds gets in there.
It's a really tough question.
And great for Roquan. Roquan got paid. Roquan's playing in Baltimore. Roquan's been competitive the last 2 years, which is what Roquan wanted, right?
Yeah, no, I know. I mean,
so that's great for him.
I said it a lot during the whole 2 years ago during the contract extension battle, right? Like. Part of me, I understand there's a limited amount of value you're going to get out of someone who's not rushing the quarterback at the linebacker position. I do understand that. Yeah. And unless you're talking about the Ray Lewises or Brian Urlachers of the world, there is a little bit more of like a finite number that you could get to in terms of like what is the true value. But my point, it's kind of like what I've been saying with Garrett Crochet. Like when you draft and develop a guy that turns out to be as good as Roquan, like, to me, it was like, don't you want guys like that on your organization? Don't you reward them? Like, I don't know. And I'm fine if you get to a certain number because you value this position in a certain way. And once it went north of $20 million, they were like, no, we can get 2 for 1 out of that. I mean, from a business standpoint, I guess I'd say I understand it. I think it makes sense. But if you're asking me just like as a Bears fan, who would I rather have? I'd rather have Roquan Smith. He's better than both of them. I don't know. I guess I'm vacillating a little on it. I just think it's a tough question. Like, I understand the business decision that was made, but I'd rather have Roquan. He's a supremely good player, like supremely good. And, yeah, is he Urlacher? No. Is he Ray Lewis? No. But I'll tell you, he's at whatever that next level is, he's at. And that kind of player is impactful. So that's my long-winded answer, I guess. I don't even know how I answered it. I think I'd say I'd rather have Roquan. So.
I don't know if you did answer it, but I think you did say Roquan.
Yeah. There you go.
Some romantic link, I guess. I don't know.
Not a romantic link. I mean,
I don't know what it is.
I just think he's like supremely good. Again, I think like TJ Edwards was a nice story. I agree with you, Jurk, and he's very inexpensive. He's a good player. Tremaine Edmunds is not supremely great, and Roquan is. Like, that's it.
3 interceptions last year for TJ Edwards.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. He was the nice,
1
inexpensive
forced fumble,
surprise.
Well, 2.5 sacks compared to 1 for Roquan Smith. Yeah. 8 TFLs compared to 5 for Roquan Smith. I mean, I don't want statistics to get in the way of anything. Roquan
Are you going to tell me that TJ Edwards is better than Roquan
Roquan does
Smith?
Play on a better defense than TJ Edwards had to play on, so maybe they needed more TJ Edwards. I think you're over-infatuated with Roquan Smith. That's what I think. That's my honest assessment to you.
All right.
You've got an over-love for a guy that was once here, and you've got, I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it.
I think he's
You've got an
probably
infatuation with him.
Well, with Fred Warner, I would say they're certainly the two best
Never
middle
mind
linebackers.
the crashed vehicles,
No,
the abandoned vehicles. I'm just saying never mind those. That's not a problem.
We're going to start worrying about that.
I don't have an issue.
How many of our guys have done that?
I stay on field. I know one.
I know one too.
Yeah.
I love him to death.
Ooh, why is it upside down?
I love him to death. Roquan and Fred Warner are, I think, quite clearly the two best middle linebackers in the league. And you can't compare
I know.
TJ Edwards
I won't
Roquan.
look at statistics.
Oh, please.
The guy that has 8 sacks is always better than the guy that has 12.
What does that mean?
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, don't look at statistics then.
Well, first of all, neither one of them had 12 sacks. So,
Not
that you'd expect them to get
No,
them.
but one had 2.5, the other one had 1. One had 3 interceptions. The other one did not. I mean,
All right, I'll ask you, who's better, T.J. Edwards or Roquan Smith?
for the money,
No, who's a better football
T.J.
player?
Edwards for the money. Production per dollar spent is a phenomenal football player compared to Roquan Smith.
That's why it's comparable, because
harsh.
if
And
you,
at the end of the day,
I think
it's
that's harsh.
got to be investment. Productivity per dollar spent.
well, that's the thing. Edmunds and Edwards contracts, if you add them up over the term of the contracts, it's comparable to Roquan Smith's. That's why it's
but
kind of
I'm
the
not even
trade-off.
talking about Edmunds.
No, he's talking about Edwards.
Not even, I'm just talking
Specifically
about
Edwards, I
Edwards.
know.
I'm talking about one guy and one guy only.
Yeah.
Any contributions coming from the other guy I haven't even talked about yet.
All right, well, we'll agree to disagree on that. I don't think T.J. Edwards is anywhere near the football player that Roquan
Production
Smith is.
per dollar spent.
I don't even think
He's
they're in the
phenomenal.
same universe, but okay. What else?
Home run derby last night. How'd you guys feel about the new format? I thought it put a little too much pressure on the pitchers. I don't really
It's
care.
a lot of it was a lot of
pitches.
I mean, a lot.
And they had the little graphic up with where the pitchers are throwing it, which is important. But I'm there to see the home run hitters. I'm not there to see a bullpen pitcher where he can aim it.
I just think it's a lot of swings too. I mean, I don't know. It seemed like a lot. It really went on for a long time. I don't mind like a bonus round. I think there could be something fun you do about like a bonus round or a speed round, but can't we just like, I don't know, can't you give them 10 outs and count home runs?
I wish
kinda like
they
the old
could.
days,
I wish
you know?
they could.
I think that's okay. But I still, when I got home, I watched about the last half of it. It still kept my interest. I was, I watched it. I thought, maybe Bobby Witt with that last swing was going to send it to a tiebreaker. I thought there was a little bit of drama. It was fine. But I wouldn't mind if they just kind of simplified it a little. And 40 swings all those rounds, it seemed like a lot. And it was a lot of pitches for those, whomever was doing the pitches for each individual guy. I thought Bobby Witt would have his dad do it. Wouldn't that have made sense? That'd been kind of funny.
It was James Russell, who used to play for the Cubs.
Oh, there you go. I thought maybe you get the old man to do it. What else, Jack? Anything else
That'd
real
be
quick?
nice.
Yeah, one more. This is a shot in the dark. I am not saying this as a possibility. I just want to test the temperature on this a little bit because
Okay.
it might be a little bit of a hot take.
Okay.
But Keenan Allen has 1 year left on his deal as a veteran who should be on a win now team.
Trade him for Brandon Aiyuk. No,
Exactly. That's what I was going to ask. Brandon, maybe Keenan Allen in like a 4th or 5th round pick. Trade him for Brandon Aiyuk.
No.
It would make sense for both sides. No, I'm not saying that's what I think, but I'm just asking. Do you, that
I'm
makes
just
sense?
saying, the ask
That's awesome.
would not be Keenan Allen and a 4th round pick. The ask would be 2 first-round picks. And then the Bears would have to counter. The Bears would have to counter with Keenan Allen and what? It wouldn't be a 4th rounder. It'd be Keenan Allen and a 1st-round pick, right? That'd be the counter offer. All right, we'll take one because we don't need Keenan Allen's money on our books. You take back Keenan Allen and a 1st-round pick, and we get Brandon Aiyuk.
I don't think the Bears need to be in like the market for Brandon Aiyuk. They've got a great room as it is. Yeah, Keenan Allen's probably one and done, but there's so much promise and hope, I think, with Rome Odunze. DJ Moore is a bona fide stud and should be for the next couple of seasons. Don't you agree, Yerk? Like, you don't need to be giving up 1st-round picks. You don't need to be giving up anything. You've got a wide receiving room that is top notch.
Well,
you don't need to be in the market for
I don't
Brandon
disagree
Aiyuk.
with you, but the ask has to be, we have to have a real scenario.
You mean if you're
That's all.
from San Francisco?
If I'm San Francisco, the ask for Brandon Aiyuk is not going to be Keenan Allen.
No.
It's going to be 2 first-rounders.
Absolutely.
And then the Bears will be scrambling to substitute a bunch of things in there.
100%.
If it was Keenan Allen and a 4th-round pick, they'd do that deal yesterday. They wouldn't even think about doing that
Yeah,
deal.
100%.
It wouldn't take 2 seconds. Done. Who made the offer? Done.
He's a former 1st-rounder. That is terrific. Yes, you're recouping major draft capital if you're going to that. They're not going to trade him. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
It's Carmen and Jurko. We'll be right back.